Can you believe that according to the article, 11 Facts About Food Deserts, published in 2020, it states that 23.5 million people are currently living in food deserts. This means that a significant portion of the population live in areas where they are more than 10 miles away from the nearest supermarket. This also demonstrates that nearly half of this population are low income. Today, I will give insight to what food deserts are, the effects it has on our health, what the government is doing to combat this issue, and ways in which people living in food deserts can still eat healthy. To start off, it's important to know about the difference between food insecurity and food deserts, since they're often used interchangeably. In the article, Food Insecurity, published by Healthy People 2020 on October 8th of 2000, it states that food insecurity is defined by the disruption of food intake and eating patterns because of the lack of money. Food insecurity is also influenced by one's income, employment status, and race and ethnicity. In another article called Maintaining a Healthy Diet in a Food Desert, written by Christina Amina on April 20 of 2016, it states that food deserts are defined by the country's vapid of fresh fruits and vegetables and whole foods that are usually found in impoverished areas. And this is caused due to the lack of supermarkets and farmers markets. And in order for areas to be considered food deserts, they have to meet certain requirements. For example, according to the article Food Deserts, Definitions, Effects, and Solutions, written by Jessica Caporicio on June 22nd of 2020, it states that in urban areas, at least 33% of the population must live more than 1 mile away from the nearest supermarket to be considered a food desert. And in rural areas, at least 33% of the population must live more than 10 miles away from the nearest supermarket to be considered a food desert. Now that we know what food deserts are, it's important to know about the effects it has on our health. Due to the lack of available foods and the high increase in fast foods, this leads to obesity. However, many people may disagree about this statement. According to the article, Junk Food Soda Aren't to Blame for Obesity, Researchers Say, written by Stephen Rainsberg on November 5th of 2015, it states that junk food, fast food, and soda are not the root causes of America's obesity epidemic, and states that scientists have found no significant difference in how much these foods are consumed by overweight and normal weight people. However, in the article Food Deserts, Definitions, Effects, and Solutions, written by Jessica Caporicio on June 22nd of 2020, she debunks this claim. She states that the lack of access to healthy foods and the easy access to fast foods is linked to poor diet that are high in sugar, sodium, and unhealthy fats. This leads to the development of obesity. In another article called The Socioeconomic Significance of Food Deserts, published by PBS on June 29 of 2011, it states that countries with the highest percentage of households living in food deserts are 9 percentage points higher of developing adult obesity compared to countries with the lowest percentage of households living in food deserts. Therefore, the lack of available healthy foods leads to obesity. Food deserts also cause many more health-related issues. For example, according to the article Health and Socioeconomic Disparities of Food Deserts, written by Barbara Weaver on March 4th of 2017, it states that residents with a chronic lack of access to adequate food resources are shown to have higher rates of developing diabetes, obesity, and cardiovascular diseases. They are also more likely of developing high blood pressure, chronic illnesses, and diet-related cancers. Now that we know the effects food deserts have in our health, you might be wondering, well, what is the government doing to combat this issue? Well, according to the article, U.S. launches program to end food deserts, written by John Hurdle on February 19th of 2010, it states that the U.S. Treasury Secretary, Timothy Geithner, said that the government will provide $250 million in tax credit to encourage food retailers to set up stores in areas that would not otherwise be served by supermarkets. Therefore, by opening up more stores, this helps combat the rise of food deserts. In another article called Food Deserts, published by Food Empowerment Projects in 2020, it states that in 2008, the Los Angeles City Council voted to enact a moratorium on new fast food outlets in the 32 square mile zone, encompassing some of South LA's most adrift food deserts. Council members have also started to open up more grocery stores and encourage restaurants to serve healthier meals. Even though there has been major change to help combat food deserts, there are still ways people can still eat healthy despite living in food deserts. Some things they could do are to stock up on fresh produce when on sale, buy frozen produce, start a garden, and take multivitamins. The benefit of taking multivitamins is that it allows residents to consume nutrients without needing to eat fruits and vegetables. In conclusion, we now know what food deserts are, the effects it has on our health, what the government is doing to combat this issue, and ways people can still eat healthy despite living in food deserts. By being informed about this issue, we can start supporting policies that help combat food deserts because it can save lives. Thank you.